Hello children, today in history we are going to do our material heritage. Now children, you already know that human beings have lived on the earth for thousands of years and left behind their remains. All these remains such as buildings and other objects are known as material heritage. Okay. Now children, first we shall learn about the various types of monuments and art and craft in this chapter. Okay. So now first of all we are doing about the stupa. Now what is a stupa children? First of all I'm going to tell you about the stupa. Stupas are large structures with roofs shaped in the form of semicircle. This semicircle roof is also called a dome. These buildings are associated with Buddhism and are said to contain things belonging to Buddha. Now children, over here I'm just showing you the picture. Okay. Now see over here, can you see this dome over here on top? This is a semicircle roof. Okay. And this is known as a dome. Is that clear? And this is the picture of a stupa. Clear children? Now the stupa in Sanchi in Madhya Pradesh, I have told you, is one of the oldest stupas. So now we move to the next topic, that is cave painting and sculpture. Children, many caves that were occupied by human beings in the olden times have been found in India. These early humans have left behind many paintings made in the caves. They also decorated them by carving beautiful sculptures on the rocks of the caves. The caves at Ajanta and Ellora are some of the finest examples of the combination of great architecture, sculpture and painting. Now, moving on to the next topic, I am coming to old temples. India is also a home of many magnificent temples that were built in the olden times. These temples can still be seen in different parts of the country and are very important part of our material heritage. Is this clear children? You know about the old temples also. Now we come to minars. Minars were also constructed by the kings in the olden times. A minar is a tall tower made to mark an important event in history. It is sometimes also included in the architectural design of a mosque. Now children, over here you can see this minar. Can you all recognize it? Which minar is this? This is a Qutub Minar. Okay, this is the Qutub Minar in Delhi. Okay children. So now the Qutub Minar in Delhi is 72.5 meters high. The construction of the minar was started by Qutb Uddin Aibak and was completed by his successor Iltutmish. Is this clear? So minars are clear to you children? Now we come to forts. The kings in olden times made forts to protect their capital city and territory. The fort of Fatehpur Sikri near Agra was built by the Mughal Emperor Akbar. It is constructed primarily of red sandstone. Built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan on the bank of river Yamuna in the 17th century, the Red Fort or Lal Killa is a testimony of India's great architectural heritage. Every year, the Prime Minister addresses the nation from the Red Fort on Independence Day. All of you must have seen, isn't it children? Now we come to the next, the tombs. Now what are the tombs children? When the king in the olden times died, okay, and they were buried inside the tombs. The Taj Mahal, a tomb located on the bank of river Yamuna, was built by Shah Jahan in the memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. It is made of white marble and took 17 years to complete. The white marble is inlaid with semi-precious stones which shines in the sun and glow in the moonlight. The Taj is an architectural marvel and is one of the 7th wonders of the world. Okay children, you need to remember this. It attracts tourists from all over India. And I think all of you have seen the Taj Mahal. If not in reality, you all must have seen a pic of Taj Mahal children. Here I am showing you the picture. This is the Taj Mahal. Okay, this is the tomb of Shah Jahan and his wife Mumtaz Mahal, right? Which he built in memory of his queen. Alright children. Now we come to the memorials. Memorials are also built in the remembrance of people who have died. It was a tradition started by the Europeans in India. The Victoria Memorial was built in the early 20th century by the British. It was built in the memory of Queen Victoria. It is located in Kolkata on the banks of river Hooghly. Okay. So children, memorials are also clear to you. Now we come to the last point, preservations of our heritage. Many of our monuments have been destroyed over time by natural forces. However, people have also participated in damaging many monuments because of the lack of awareness. And how do they damage it, children? They write their names on the walls, remove the stones, litter the area, and show lack of respect for the heritage. Okay, this is also known as vandalism. Okay, vandalism is against the law. So you need to protect your heritage. You should not destroy it. You should not spoil it. Okay, preserving our heritage is important because of the following reasons. Why is it important? It is important because it is a reflection of our culture. It boosts the economy of by encouraging tourism. It is also a it is also means for us to learn about history and share our rich heritage with other people. As informed citizens, we must protect and be proud of our heritage. And children, the Archaeological Survey of India is a government body that is engaged in preserving and restoring our heritage. However, this task cannot be left to the government alone. So, it is the duty of the individuals, it is our duty that we must also play an active role along with the other governmental organizations in maintaining and preserving our rich heritage. So I hope the chapter is clear to you. Thank you.